All right, what up, Dennis? How you doing today, bro?
Man, I'm good. What's going on with you, Kirk?
Oh, it's all good, man. I'm so excited to chat with you today, bro, and kind of talk shop as part of this drum chat series that has started just naturally throughout this quarantine season. But yeah, man, I just we just got together this last weekend for a shed, and that was a ton of fun, man. So uh, we just caught up a little bit, but wanted to have you on right away afterwards and see how things are going, man, in general.
Thanks for having me on. First of all, man. Yeah, man. Man, it's a crazy situation now going on in the world, man. It's just affecting a lot of people. It's just crazy, man. I would never thought in my lifetime I experienced, you know, just kind of adapting, adjusting. You know what I'm saying? Going with the flow of everything, figuring everything out as far as continuing to work and make money. You know what I'm saying? And me and my family, we good here in Portland. You know, I'm from New York originally. It's been tragic back there. Had some family members pass and
I'm
some
so
in the
sorry to hear that,
hospital.
bro.
My mom had got the COVID. To do better roller coaster. And but you know what I'm saying, we hit with everything, and, that's it basically.
Yeah, man, and I'm sorry to hear about that. I didn't know you had some direct family members, affected by this COVID in New York. But I remember when we were first talking, probably a year or two ago, when we were getting together to shed, that you're from New York. So kind of, yeah, it just makes it way more real when you're directly affected by this shit. And yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, bro, because I don't have any personal family friends or anything that this past, so that's extra tough, man. And so, love and support goes out to you and yours, man, because that's really tough right now.
Appreciate it. Like, a lot of people dealing with all that. You know what I'm saying? It's not, it's a crazy time. Just trying to find things, within the situation. So that's what I've been doing, man. It's been a blessing, man. It's a blessing in disguise. You know what I'm saying? As far as
Yeah,
the
man.
times be, you know what I mean? So spending time with family and talking to family, videoing, and seeing everybody. That's been really cool. So just
Yeah,
everybody
no
slowed
doubt.
down and, it is available. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the cool thing about it. You know what I mean? What you been doing, man? You been in the house? No, you ain't been in the house because we was all together on Sunday last.
Yeah, man, pretty much for the most part, I'm just, cooped up in the house like everyone else, man, just trying to make the most of my time and just being productive as I can be, but not kind of forcing the issue on days where I feel a little less motivated. So yeah, just kind of like I was talking to you before, doing some recording and brushing up on some of that. But um, yeah, man, it's a weird ass time, like you said, and while we feel maybe a little bit more disconnected in Portland from a lot of like the real tragic stuff like you just referred to in New York, it's still obviously affecting all of us as musicians where we can't really do nothing
Yeah,
but practice or just be learning music or our own personal growth. So for me, I'm just trying to take it one day at a time, man. Decide, what's the next best move. And yeah, I'm
we
definitely
got plenty
trying to
of time.
shed.
We got
What's
plenty of time, bro. So yeah, it's like we just got to do everything that we've been wanting to get to and haven't been able
right.
to. Everything that's been on the shelf. So, like I said, it's a blessing in disguise. It's just about your mindset and adapting. You know what I mean to the situation. So yeah, man.
Yeah, no question, man. And so as far as that goes, you know, we just saw each other this last weekend, which was a pretty special thing. That was my first time playing with any musicians at all. And before anyone freaks out or anything that didn't see the video clip, we got together with 4 of our homies that you organized, which I appreciated, man. But we were out in the park doing a drum shed, you know, keeping our distance and being safe and whatnot. So before anyone gets on here and goes crazy on us, you know, we were out in the open.
Definitely being safe for sure.
Yeah, taking care of ourselves. So that was about as much fun as I've had since this quarantine started, bro.
Man, I've been in the crib and I'm like, all right, nobody's doing nothing right now. Everybody's available. I was like, let me put together this little shed, you know what I'm saying, in the park, you know what I mean, with plenty of space for everybody to be away from each other and be, you know, practicing social distancing, you know what I mean?
Right.
And all right, let me just throw a flag. But I've been getting some messages from people. They're like, "Oh, it's invitation only." I'm like, man, I'm just, don't feel offended. I'm just trying to keep it safe. I don't want it to get too out of hand. You know what I'm saying?
It's one thing to try to engage, but you got to be safe about it. Yo, Dennis, I don't want to cut you off at all, my guy, but I just got word that we're having some trouble on your audio end. So I want to, before getting too deeper into this conversation, I want to make sure that you're heard and whatnot. Johnny, who's been coming in and checking out all these videos, much love to Johnny, but he just gave me some word that he's having a hard time hearing you. Do you want to try to unplug your mic and see how the audio is with that?
Yeah, hold on.
Excuse us one moment, ladies and gentlemen, while we deal with some technical difficulties. Yeah, I can hear you straight, bro. Is that mic unplugged?
Yeah, I got it off to the side. It's down.
Cool. Yeah, I actually hear you crystal clear now. Hopefully, let's check in with Johnny. Johnny, if you can hear Dennis now, let us know, bro, because he's coming through crystal clear on my end now. So we got our our lead technical moderator, Johnny, out here doing the good work for us. Johnny. So I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to cut you off at all, bro.
No, guys.
If you had said a bunch of good shit, man, and we wasted a whole half hour of your knowledge, I didn't want to do that to you, bro.
Oh no, it's all good, man. But yeah, like I was just saying it's been we've been everybody's been available. So it's like I was like, all right, let me invite some people and let's just get together. I've been getting a lot of messages in my inbox like, yo, what's up? It's invitation only. I want to come. Like, yo, I'm just trying to keep it safe for us. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
That's how I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm just gonna keep inviting people. But you know what I'm saying? We got lots of time. So I got a list of drummers that I just want to work out with here in Portland. And I'm gonna put some unique combinations together, moving forward. So it's gonna be really cool. I'm gonna keep this thing going with this. You know what I mean? And it may not be every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kind of playing it how, you know what I mean, whenever I feel. You know what I'm saying? But we got a little momentum now. We did one, so I'm gonna do another one, and then I got something. I've been talking to Tyrone Hendricks about, my man Ty. Something we're gonna do something real special in the next couple of weeks. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be really dope. I'm putting it together right now, and Ty's helping me get it together, and it's gonna be fresh. So everybody keep an eye out for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Well, I'm thrilled, dude, just to be a part wherever I can, man. It's been fun as hell for me to just kind of jump on board and have a way to, be creative with y'all and trade some ideas back and forth. Cause I didn't really think, in all honesty, that any drum sheds would be happening during this time. But the fact that you found a way to keep us kind of safe and organized throughout this time is really dope, man. And yeah, for the most part, we're all masked up like 10, 15 feet away from each other.
Yeah, we got a mask on. We got our gloves out there.
Yeah, man.
We safe. I got to be safe. I got little ones. I got 3 sons. I got a wife. So, you know, I'm not playing around. Like I said, I had some family members affected, so I'm not playing around with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah,
definitely going to
man.
keep it.
Yeah, man, you know what's up. And Johnny just confirmed that you just came in. So I think honestly, me having the headphones on from here on, I was trying to control my audio spiking on my end, but I think that might have been muting your channel. So I think we're good to go now, bud. So sorry about that from getting started. This is my this is like my 8th video, whatever, but we're still learning, man. I'm not a radio show host by any means, but just
not yet. You on your way.
I love that. I love that,
That's
man.
how it starts, man. This is how it starts right here, doing stuff like this, man.
Word, bro.
Just
Well,
keep the momentum going, bro.
I appreciate you, man. It's all about that, man. And this is literally like to piggyback off that, man. This is literally why I started reaching out to drummers, was because of like the lack of being able to get together and hang and shed. And so I thought, at the very core, we can at least have a conversation started to spike creativity amongst like our community, because we got a strong drum community out here in Portland, like we've been talking about through all the different homies that have come on and talked to me throughout this process. But
yeah, man, it's been dope, man. It's been like I told you earlier before we started the live thing. I've been watching, and you know what I'm saying? Off camera, we'll talk some more, man. I got some other stuff that might help you, man. Throw you a little alley-oop.
Hey, that's what we're all here to help, man. But
I've been enjoying it, man. You've been having all the guys on. It's been cool, man. I appreciate to be here.
Oh yeah, man. It's all love.
This is all history, bro. This is all history. You know what I'm saying? Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it's been fun kind of putting the puzzle pieces together indirectly from all the homies that come from your kind of friend group along the way, man. Like getting together with Tyrone and B Fox and all these guys, and just kind of hearing different stories from that crew. It's been fun, man. It's been like kind of being at the cookout or the after party hang without really being there. So it's been extra special to kind of have everyone on and talk shop, man. But for anyone that missed the initial part because of some audio difficulties, we were just talking about this drum shed that Dennis had organized out at the park. And I know the video kind of got around, at least in the music community, from Brian Fox and Casey Anderson's Facebook post. But that shit was some really good stuff and allowed us to be able to speak and communicate in a safe manner. So Dennis, that's one of the ways he's been using his time in this quarantine way to allow us to still get together, but in as safe as way as possible. But yeah, man, I guess moving on from that, like how else have you used your own time, or what made you come about like the idea of putting that together?
Oh, well, so, like, I mean, I do these all the time. You know what I mean? I have a group called Kids Junk Orchestra. I teach in the community, different schools and organizations. I contract with them. And so I do this thing in Portland, and I started it in Portland. I was doing it in New York and other places, but really not here in Portland. So I do this thing called Rhythm in the Parks, and basically, I teach kids basic drumming skills on non-traditional items, buckets, pots, and pans. And I got this whole setup, go through different routines with them. But it's really some, they're playing on pots and pans and buckets, but I'm really teaching them like basic rudiments and, how to, what different, like how to count bars, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just not, for me, it's nothing new. It's something that I always do. I always play outside in the elements. You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of, background from New York, playing in the streets, playing buckets, in New York City, all that. So I love being outside playing, period. You know what I mean? Practicing early morning, 7 a.m. in the morning, going out to somewhere and just getting it in.
7 a.m., bro. That's tough. That's tough. When I hear that, I think of like another hour of sleep after that point. But
well, I got three kids, so I'm up 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, bro.
Yeah, bro, I feel that. I mean, I can't relate, but I feel that, man. Respect.
I'll be up, so And
Yeah, man. I wanna talk to you a bit about your bucket drumming history today because for those that aren't familiar with your playing, man, and I hope most of the people tuning in would be because man, you're one of the baddest dudes we have in Portland easily, and
thanks,
one of
man.
my favorite drummers to listen to here. I feel like I don't get enough chance to hear you out because you're not always playing in the Portland area, right? And that's something we've talked about in the past. Um, and you gotta make it work where you feel like is your best fit. But that being said, um, for those who haven't heard you like on a gig or whatnot, Dennis's talent is just exceptional. And I met him back in the Dookie days of going to that jam and just being able to sit in and play after these dudes. But what I would love to talk about is just like the history of how you got started on the drums coming from New York and what it meant to you to like come up through playing bucket drums as well as the kit and like how that came about.
Well, so it also my dad is he's kind of he don't play like he used to, but my dad was a drummer. He's an engineer as well, so he does that more, work with sound and stuff like that now. But yeah, man, my dad started me off, started in church. You know what I mean? I'm fortunate, man, growing up, being in church, I was around like some monster musicians and singers. And it all started with my family. Like my family's very talented, you know what I mean? I got a lot of family in the industry. And yeah, man, kind of started like that. And just being in New York, there's so much other talent, you know what I mean? And church in New York is different, like church other, well, I'll say church in Portland, you know what I'm saying? Like the
Right.
churches, there's constantly sheds going on.
Mm-hmm.
There's always rehearsals. There's always church services. So constantly planning, you know what I mean? And being pushed because, the next band from another church or, they're doing their thing. So you always want to be up to par. It's like that in New York, you know what I mean? You just want, and not so much a competition thing, but just a music thing. Like, oh, y'all did this, so we gonna come like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just always had that as a youngster. You know what I mean? With music and with drumming. And my dad, he really cultivated my talent. He knew how to cultivate my talent. He knew who to send me to. He was a really, really good drummer, but he will always send me other places young, like to other musicians that were his friends, and to learn certain things. You know what I mean? I took like my man Tommy Campbell. I took lessons with him for years out of New York. I don't know if you ever heard of Tommy Campbell, jazz drummer. Man, amazing. I took lessons with him. My dad used to always take me down to Drummers Collective. You know what I mean? So just being, so not only would I have that church aspect of it, I would get the jazz, I would get the fusion, I would get the
Yeah.
rock. And it was really interesting because growing up in church back in the days, there's certain things they didn't want us to listen to. But my dad, he was really open with it, man. He was a musician, so he really didn't hold me back from, he would play rock records, he would play, gospel records. He would, not hip hop. It was, no hip hop or anything like that.
No hip hop. You had to get that on your own later on.
Yeah, I had to get that on my shout out my cousin June, my big cousin June. He introduced me to hip hop. I used to go steal his tapes from his drawer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
You know about cassette tapes, right?
I mean, I heard about them once. But yeah, bro, that's crazy. You're coming up at a time too where hip hop was, like God in New York. So that's
man. Yeah,
to be
for
surrounded.
sure, man. And then just so to just continue, you know what I mean? Just so coming up to church. So then when I was about 14, 15 years old, I started playing buckets. So my older cousins, shout out to Jared Crawford, aka Chocolate Jared, and my boy Larry Wright. These two are like you see people bucket drumming. These two are like the ones that took it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? These two guys, along with others, like shout out my man Peter Rabbit. He's all over the internet on YouTube, bucket drummer. My man Raymond King. You know what I'm saying? We have a crew, it's called Key Bang and Associates, KBA. And all of these dudes is like some monster players, you know what I'm saying? Buckets, drums, you know what I'm saying? It's just a crew of us, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so we was, my older cousins, they was already doing their thing. And I was still too young. My dad really held me down, you know what I mean? He didn't really let me out until I was ready, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? I got, so I was in a Broadway show called Bringing the Noise, Bringing the Funk. So, with Savion Glover.
Yeah.
And so that show that came out in '94, when it first came out, they tried to get me in the show, but I was too young. My dad was like, nah. He was like, nah, he's too young. He can't do it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't learn about this till years later when I got in the show. You know what I'm saying? They finally got me in. So I didn't learn about my cousins. My two older cousins told me about it because my cousin Jared, he did all the on-stage percussion, you know, all the rhythms and all that stuff. He created all that stuff for that show. A couple of scenes in the show, he created it. So, you know, he had a say on who the drummers were going to be. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. So, you know, I was able to get in that show a couple of years later. You know what I mean? And then it was just buckets after that. I really like locked in. And like I said, my career, I've been really fortunate. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to put the work in and get my skills up, but I've been blessed with opportunities presented to me because of the people I know and been around, and so I've been real fortunate in that way. And I'm always thankful to those people for those opportunities. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I just got the opportunity handed to me, and I just ran with it. You know what I mean? And so like I was 16 years old, and then I was on my first professional tour, 16.
right.
I finished high school on the road. You know what I mean? But even before then, I was still traveling around as a youngster playing drums in the gospel world. You know what I'm saying? Traveling to Philadelphia, Chicago, the Carolinas as a kid. You know what I'm saying? And playing with different choirs and groups and things like that. So, you know, I always had that. And then, like I said, professionally, when I turned 16 is when I started touring, you know, on my own. You know what I'm saying? My mom and dad let me go. And my dad figured that he put enough in me that I was going to be all right. I wasn't going to go crazy on the road. And I didn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? And yeah, man, just up and, you know, so I did the show for years. I did Bring the Noise for years. And that show won a bunch of Tony Awards, Grammy nominations. So all kinds of awards. So I was happy to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man. And it's crazy because I was telling somebody the other day, there was a period from like 1998 to 2000 where I may have played the actual drum set maybe about 5 times.
Damn.
I was strictly playing the buckets because, you know, when you do the Broadway shows, we doing, you know, only day off is Monday. You know, we doing 8 shows a week. You know what I'm saying? And we was touring, so we was, you know, we everywhere. We was going everywhere. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? I was just strictly buckets. No drums, no nothing but buckets.
Man. What did that do? What do you feel like that did to your playing, Dennis, by spending so much time, obviously growing up as a drum set player, like in gospel church, but like, what do you feel like that did, like with your playing, not only like in like your crew of bucket drummers, like with your cousin and your homie that like kind of pioneered that shit, but like also with so much time spent away from the drum set in those touring years? Like those must have been formative years for like how you express yourself on the kit, I'm assuming.
Well, it didn't, honestly, I didn't think about it at all because I was playing every day.
Yeah.
I was playing the drums every day. Bucket drums every day, or just pots and pans every day. You know what I'm saying? So my hand, you know, my hands got fast. Playing the buckets, you get quick hand. I don't play with little sticks. I always tease drummers. I'm like, yeah, your hands are fast, but you playing with them little tree branches, you know what I'm saying? So I play with really big sticks, you know what I'm saying? So my hands got faster.
Yeah.
You know, they got even. Everything in my left hand was just as quick as my right hand.
Yeah, I mean, your hands are crazy fast, man. Whoever hasn't seen you like open up on the kit before, like needs to, because man, like you're just ferocious power comes out of this dude. Like the first time I saw you solo was, you remember that Dante show you played with Eric back in the day, like opening up for Robert Glasper.
Yeah. I do
Yeah,
remember that.
and you took like a 3 minute drum solo, like coming out of like one of these tunes where it's just like you opened up like slowly and built this shit out. And just the amount of like pure fucking stamina that I like witnessed that day, I was like, oh my God. I knew Dennis was like dope, but like the amount of like chops you got, man, from your hand speed is just like insane, and the amount and your ability to like stay there at peak like for a minute is like so impressive every time I see
Yeah,
it. And I
man.
was reminded of that just Sunday when we were just messing around, chopping out, trading ideas. But man, your stamina and you're like just like holy fuck, man. It's just always impressive to me to see you work when you get going, because it's like a train that's full speed and it ain't slowing down.
Yeah, man, but I mean, a lot of that comes from the buckets, man. The buckets, they have no bounce on them. You know what I mean? So it just builds you up. And then when I was a kid, I was like crazy, bro. Like my dad had all like these like metal sticks. My dad had all these like different things, bro. He had like these metal sticks. So I would like practice with those. I would practice with weights on. You know what
Oh
I'm
man,
saying?
that's next
All
level.
kinds of craziness, bro. But bro, I was in a really highly competitive, you know what I'm saying? It was always competitive, you know what I'm saying? Like with
Yeah,
the as youngsters, like coming Brooklyn, New York, man, I had like all kinds of other drummers that we would share with. So we always just wanted to be dope, you know what I mean? So,
I feel
you know what I
that,
mean? So
man.
I went overboard though, because I actually hurt my wrist as a youngster, you know what I'm saying? I injured myself just doing too much, not knowing, pushing myself too hard, you know what I mean? And not knowing how far to go, you know what I mean? So I actually injured myself. I'm good now though, but yeah, man, it's just a lot of practice and working on the bucket drums to get all that speed and stamina, and then just putting those, those hours in on the instrument and practicing. You know what I mean? I like to practice on like really, really fast, high BPMs. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'll start my practice session off. I'll do like whatever the fastest BPM I can do, just right out the gate, and 30 minutes, nothing but that. You know what I'm saying? And just
Yeah,
go.
man.
You know what I mean? Well,
I
not now, but when I used to practice back, bro, before I had kids, and I would be going like 8 hours a day practicing, bro.
Yeah,
Every day.
man, and it shows that you live that life. And yeah, like that's cool that you talk about that, man, because I wish I had more of a network, or like a like a hive mind, like to gravitate towards at that early formative age, because I was the only musician I really like knew. Like I didn't have close friends that like played, or like other drummers that were like fucking dope wanting to push me. So I had to like push myself. And I see it so much from like the church community of like these young drummers coming up from your age, from older generation. And also like nowadays, it's like, I feel like that on steroids of just like young drummers pushing each other to like for that shed all the time. And you want to be ready, homies over there burning, you want to be ready to go, right? So that was like the
Yeah,
culture you grew up in, man.
for sure,
And
for sure.
so with that being said, like where what did that take on as far as like your practice routine when you like grew up in the church, in these sheds, all of the bucket drumming, like where did you take that as far as like developing your own sound when you got to like be out of that touring show and whatnot? Like how do you feel like all of that mended into like the sound that you created for yourself, the practice routine you created for yourself like later on in life, coming from that background?
Well, that's an interesting question. I feel like, as far as like with the style and the way I play, it's just a combination of different things. It's just years and years of me watching, adapting, pulling from this person, taking this, wanting to be like this, you know what I'm saying? And just putting it together and finding my own sound. And then, you know, the way I approach the drum set, you know what I mean? is I approach the drums, especially like sometimes like soloing. I approach it like a like a dancer would. I like a tap dancer. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was in that show for years, and I
Yeah.
try and hit rhythms. You know what I'm saying? I try and hit something, make it stick. You understand where I'm going. All right, change it, then bring it back. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
kind of adapt, and that comes from the buckets as well, because you have to get real creative when you're on the buckets to because you know it's a 5-gallon bucket. That's it. So you know, in order to make it sound different from and I always say the bucket drum is a percussive instrument. It's like a bongo or a congo or a djembe. That's
Yeah.
how it should be looked at, not like a drum set. Now I can play the bucket drums like a drum set, but for everybody else, it's just like that's the type of instrument it is. I see people they be playing the buckets, they be trying to I'm like, bro, that's not gonna that don't sound good. Okay, that don't sound good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and I approach drum set playing like the way I approach the buckets. I try and hit rhythms. You know what I mean? And I try and I like different. I love different types of music, and I like to be honest in that music with the drumming. So if I'm gonna play a jazz set, you gonna be like, all right, this you gonna think, oh, he's just a jazz drummer. You know what I'm saying? Or if I'm playing a funk set, they're gonna be like, oh, this is a funk drummer. Or if I'm playing a salsa, you're gonna be like, oh, this dude is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I like to be real authentic with the sound and I'm on some drum shit, period. You know what I mean? I'm on some drum shit. I love drums. I love rhythms. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? From
man.
everywhere, all over the world. And you know what I mean? I just wanna that's it, man. That's what it's all about for me. So, I'm continually learning as well, you know what I'm saying? With drumming, I'm a forever student, you know what I'm saying, of the craft, of rhythm, you know what I'm saying? And it's helped me in a lot of ways, man. Rhythm, like playing the drums is a physical thing. So, you know what I mean? If I'm emotional about something, I can go bang it out, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
angry, I can go get all of that out instead of slapping somebody or doing something else. You know what I'm saying? Like I can
Right.
snap the snare, you know what I mean? Or not just about anger. If I'm happy, I get on the drums and it's a different feel, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. And I just want to interject there because that's inspiring to hear, and it's a commonality that is always talked about from all of my favorite drummers, man. And that's like the fact that drumming is a language you speak, but also like something used for your own personal therapy, man. Like, and that's heavy. And I know it's like something that's talked about a lot, right? Music is therapy. It's kind of like this cliche, like glazed over comment all the time, but
It's
like
true though. It really is
it's some real
true.
shit, man. And like what you just said, like just does nothing but drive that point home, man. Like instead of
Yeah, man.
like taking out frustrations on like some petty shit, or like you can like just use any bit of emotion that you're feeling like towards your instrument, man. And that's the coolest part about like what we do. And
And
sometimes
I think you can find that in any instrument. Like if you're a piano player, you can get there and you can find you know what I mean? There's peace in all of that. But the thing is, the difference is with the drum is physical. You are physically striking something. So that's a different type of thing, energy you're letting out. You know what I'm
right, what
saying?
we do is so physical, man. And like that's why like I'm always so blown away by like your physical prowess, man. Like your ferocity is what I call it, man, because it's just like it's endless. You have this energy inside of you that can just come out and like for however
That's
long
the
you want
Buddy
to
Rich
take.
in me, man. That's the Buddy
Yeah,
Rich in me,
I'm
man.
saying, bro, but that all makes sense when you explain the background of you coming from hitting these buckets hours a day and like pretty much like using fucking like tree trunks as your sticks, man. And that's like, it shows, man. Your arms are big and like you got power. And I warm up with marching sticks on a dull practice pad. That's as much as I can emulate what you're talking about without hurting myself. But I feel that, man. It's just it's crazy. And one thing I wanted to kind of go back to that you mentioned in that last part was how you take solos. And we kind of covered a ton of different topics there in the last 5 minutes. But one thing that I always really dig about your solo is something that you just mentioned there. And that's like, you want to give someone, you want to give the listener kind of like rhythms to grab onto, to like show them, direct them like where you're going. And I always love that about your drumming. And I do hear that a lot in like bucket drummers on the street, right? It's like creating motifs or themes for like the audience to kind of get behind, to see like what it is that they're about to create around that theme. And then they come back to it, right? It's like, to me, like that can be summed up as like storytelling. That's like what I call that like approach to soloing. But like, I always like want to hear you solo, and just like, I'm like, you can like stay on that shit for like the next 20 minutes if you want, Dennis. Like, don't like, just chill as long as you want to right now, man. Cause like you have a great sense of being able to build from scratch, right? Like, even if that's just like an idea as simple as boom, boom, like something like that. You have this ability to vibe on that, and then to build from that. And that's always been something I dig about your playing, specifically when you open up, man. It's just, it's really rad.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Of course, man. Of course.
Yeah,
So,
man, but then again, that's just even that with the soloing and the building, like, you know what I mean? That just comes from, like music, trying to make music out of your instrument, drums.
right.
You know what I mean? People, like I said, I'm on some real drum shit for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm all about it. And drums are not, well, it depends on the situation, drum situation, but drums are not only to hold the time. You know what I'm saying? Right. Drummers, I always say, they'll be like, oh, chops, but the pocket is what gets the, not all the time. Like, if you're a drummer, pocket is normal. You should have that, period. So,
amen.
I don't know, like, period. Like, if you're a drummer, you can't stay in the pocket at all, then, so when they be like, oh, chops, but I got you're supposed to have chops too, drummers. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to have chops too. You're supposed to learn how to solo. That's all drumming, period. You know what I'm saying? I see some of these people saying that. I'm like, I don't play all, like, a lot of my gigs that I do are me. You know what I'm saying? It's me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on drummers to the front. You know what I'm saying? That's, yep. Lionel Hampton is one of my favorite percussionists in the world. Like, I used to, growing up, every video I could find, every DVD, every cassette tape, you know what I'm saying? And he was the drummer. You know what I'm saying?
All about the rhythm.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Buddy Rich, he was the leader of the band. He was in charge, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm on, you know what I mean? Like I always say, drummers to the front. All them horns, y'all go to the back of the stage. Bass player, come right here. Everybody get out the way. You know what I'm saying? Cause we the show. That's what I'm on when I'm doing my stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. It shows. I like that approach, man. You're a driving force, and you want your music to be heard like that, man. So all respect there, man. I think that's a brilliant approach. And like, to each their own. I'm not gonna disagree with anything you just said, man, because I'm a firm believer in like what we do here. We should be striving to like push ourselves to further our growth as a musician. And so if I don't have, like, just point blank, like, I don't have the chops that you have, for example, but I'm certainly striving each day to like bridge that gap, because there's a lot of things that I can't.
But it's not about that, though. You know what I'm saying? It's
right.
never about, okay, I don't have the chops that this guy has, or
right.
It's never about that. Everybody's journey is different. You know what I'm saying? Now, you have some people who are just anomalies. You know what I'm saying? You got like these kids now, they crazy. You know what I mean? I'll be like, come on, man. What's going on here? You know what I mean? But it's everybody. And you should just continue to grow, period. If you're a drummer, you just never stop learning. You know what I'm saying? Now, I understand being on a tour. Like I just said, I was on tour, and it was a period of time that I didn't touch the drum. because of the gig, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
that I was on. But, you know what I mean, there was still practice and drumming going on. So even if you're on a gig where you're playing 7 nights a week, or you still as a drummer got to carve out some time to practice.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're just going to be stagnant and stale doing the same show every night. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you got to still put some type of practice time in. You know what I mean? And I understand, you know, like I said, the situation, but that's just my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying?
I love that though, man. And it motivates me coming from you, someone, you know, whose playing I look up to a lot and have always, you know, been inspired by, but it also resonates with me because I couldn't agree more to that point. And it's not to like shame people, at
No,
least
no,
like,
no, no.
it's not to shame anyone that like doesn't have a certain technical ability. It's about like a mindset, right? It's like, it's a mindset to be wanting to better yourself, to be able to do different things besides just play on the 2 and the 4, right? It's like
Right.
being able to express yourself creatively and use emotion behind it to be able to like say things that you feel in that moment. Like that's
And
what
to take chances in the right situations. Only in the right situation. You know, don't be on tour with your artist and be going crazy taking. No. That's not what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's no drums up front when you're touring with, you know, like any pop band, right? Like that approach goes to the side and you're just playing the gig. But
Yeah, you're just playing the gig. So that's not what I'm talking about. Let's just be clear. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's not what I'm talking about. But in your practice, but still, you set some time within that tour. You need to still be practicing. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know,
Right.
my opinion.
How did it feel coming back to playing normal drum set gigs after that tour when you were, of course, practicing and playing every night? Did it feel
Well,
a little strange transitioning back to like the more typical standard gigs that like we're used to playing?
Well, it's funny because like that's never been, honestly, I didn't like what I would call like um club gigs and stuff like that. I didn't start playing those till I moved to Portland.
Word.
Cause when literally I was on tour from 16 to 2000 and something. I was gone, bro. From 16 years old till I was like 22. I was gone, bro. You know what I'm saying? And just strictly buckets. So
That's dope.
as far as like doing club, like when I first got back on the drums, it was weird. Not even for a gig or anything, just getting back on drums. I was like noticing. I was like, man, I lost a little something here. Let me get this back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then that was the moment where I combined my bucket playing and my drumming and made it go together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, man. And
I just brought them the same. So even the way I chop, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I approach the drums like a tap dancer or a percussionist. I'm like going for rhythms. You know, and we talked about it on Saturday. I told you guys, sometimes you guys are playing these beats, and these beats have rhythms or have names for them, and you don't even know.
Right.
So when you learn what the names of the rhythms are, then you could go and call on those at any moment. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
you know, that was another thing. You know, like I said, I'm on some drum stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that was another thing I got with some of the drummers, the djembe drummers, and my man Say Cool, shout out to him, Darrell Walker. You know what I'm saying? I sat with him and learned all the names of these rhythms that we be doing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hakeem Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? He's another really good drummer in town. You know what I mean? Percussionist. And I sit with those guys and I learn the names of these different West African rhythms, these Ghanaian rhythms. You know what I'm saying? And then I was able to tour with this man. His name is Dr. Thomas Mafumu. Now, Dr. Mafumu is from Zimbabwe, and he's the creator of Chimurenga music. So that's a whole other style of African drumming that I had to learn on drum set. And their bass player taught me how to play that style. The bass player is an ill drummer. And these are like, and he lives here. He actually lives in Eugene, Dr. Mafumu. But yeah, man, and I got to tour with him, and that was a crazy experience because of the way that they do their shows. You know what I mean? We was doing like 5-hour, 6-hour sets straight, bro. It was crazy.
Damn, man,
Bro,
that's dope. I
I
mean,
learned how to play. That's when I learned how to play through cramps.
playing through cramps, man. Not a lot of people are aware of how to get through that, man. That's not a typical
Bro,
experience, man.
I learned how to do it on that tour.
That's like being an athlete at that point, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, drumming's a sport. You know what I'm saying? Drumming is definitely a sport.
It's so physical, man. It really is,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why when I see people with your level of stamina and power, and be able to say like phrasing throughout chopping to the extent like you can, man, it always impresses me because of the physical demands that comes. It's like no different to me than like seeing like, you know, LeBron catch an alley-oop and you're just like, what the, you know, like crazy. But yeah, it's cool to hear you talk about the physicality of that. And also on that point, man, like I got to get with you on some of those West African rhythms that you've been like talking about. I need to get in a shed with you and learn some of those grooves, man, because I need to.
I'm still constantly learning. I'm constantly texting my dudes like, yo, what's this rhythm called? Yo, what's the name of that rhythm that we did? And like, so what I do is like, we don't do them on the drums. We do them on the doom drums, and you know what I'm saying? So what I do is I'll learn it there, and then I'll transfer it to drum set, and just try and figure it out where it sounds the best on the drums. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And like I told you, I got something in the next couple of weeks, bro. I got something. It's gonna be crazy. We're gonna all get together, bro. I'm planning it right now.
I'm excited, man.
Have all those guys with us. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be fresh.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, I'm still learning all those rhythms, and just get on YouTube, bro. YouTube is our friend. You know what I mean? Get on YouTube, type it in. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I do, man.
Yeah,
it's
man.
always, yeah, it's easy nowadays to self-learn, right? And yeah, like
yeah, for sure.
just so much access to this information out there. Sometimes it's like a little hard to like know where to begin, but you just type in one thing at a time, and then there it is. And then all of a sudden you can learn this groove from someone that's world renowned from that style, right? It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
The you know, things are that accessible nowadays. But yeah, man, I love hearing all the influences that you've put into your music. And I definitely hear when you talk about like, oh, what I was just like digging into there was actually like, you know, a rhythm like that I learned from my homie that's like influenced by like the style he made from Zimbabwe. It's like crazy. And you can hear all of that in your playing, like, and you like tastefully randomly access that. And right to your point that we were talking about earlier in terms of just building up your like vocabulary, not just with chops, but with styles, with different like influences. It's really to be able to just like add to the conversation something that wouldn't exist without your knowledge of that, right? It's just like I want to be able to pull from all these different like samples,
right. And just to have it in your just building up your vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, everything that you learn, what depending on the situation, is not called for. You know what I'm saying? But just to having a vocabulary and being able to go to that at any time, you know what I mean, is like, that's good. You know what I mean? Because you never know. For me, it is. I'm gonna talk about for me. I think for everybody, but for me, it's really good because I like to play in different drum circumstances. I like to play in a West African band. I like to play in a jazz band. I like to play in, you know what I'm saying? That's what I like to do, you know what I mean? So I just pick and choose kind of in that way, you know what I mean? And then, but my regular gig is usually, you know, bucket stuff. That's how, you know what I mean? That's how the bread gets made, for sure. You know what I'm saying? I get paid way more playing the buckets than I do playing the drum.
I understand that, man. Is that are you talking about like the teaching standpoint of like you putting these bucket clinics together? Is that like what you're referring to?
No, just doing events, doing shows, like you know what I'm saying? I'll do an event. I'll get invited to do a show, right?
Yeah.
Here in Portland. I'll use local show. And all right, they be like, oh, $200. Cool. I gotta do that. That's just for the gig. Yeah, like, you know, don't free rehearsals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Nobody
of
getting
course,
paid for
man.
rehearsal.
It's
The
all
gig
about
is
that.
200. So, but then I'll get a gig on the buckets, and I'll make way more than that than the
Mhm.
whole band did for 15 minutes.
Right, man. That's special, man. That's really cool. That
So,
you have.
you know, sometimes people always, you know, oh, I don't be gigging out. It's, you know, it's just, you know, it's not worth it sometimes. You know what I mean? But I do get out locally and gig with my friends. You're saying that's why you see me at a, well, we don't do them really no more, but you always see me at the Dookie Jam, or you see
Yeah,
me playing
man.
with this person, or if a buddy calls me, hey, I can't make a gig, because they know I'm not gigging. They know I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they go, no, I can't. Can you do this? And depending on who it is, what the situation is, sure, I can do it. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, you know what I mean? I just be, you know, and I do teach. You know what I mean? I'm in the community now, in the different schools. You know what I mean? And with my kids' junk orchestra program, and I tour a lot with that. Just with the kids' junk orchestra, I got a group of kids, bro, that is ill. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really put them out like a lot. Like there's like little videos out stuff. I don't really put them out there like that because they kids. But we do events, we do shows all around. Yo, bro, Peru. Uh, um, man, we be everywhere, bro. Peru, we be in Dubai. You know, we travel internationally, Africa. You know what I'm saying? And we be getting it in, man, doing festivals, events, things like that, man. So
Yeah, man. I see you posting about like some of your travels. I'm like, man, the fact that you're able to orchestrate that yourself, like you've put this together, it's a business for you to, man. And it's like,
yeah,
it's really inspiring to see as someone that enjoys playing with artists, enjoys the fuck out of getting calls, right? Like I never want those to stop because I love playing with different people, but I also come from the mindset of like, man, I really want to be able to build my own shit. And like you've done that.
yeah.
And
My
like,
dad
whether
used to,
that's with your bucket drumming or putting together groups, like it's something that I've always wanted to like continue to push forward is like, okay, you can do both. You can be like the call guy in all of these different styles and be known for playing all that shit. But then you
yeah.
can,
And then sometimes I do.
hey,
Sometimes I'll do these. Sometimes I'm not even like. So I'm just booking the talent. You know what I mean? I'm not even playing. I'm just booking everybody. You know what I mean? For the festival, whatever. You know, my dad used to always tell me when he's like, learn how to do what you love to do without doing it. So learn how to make money doing what you love to do without actually like, basically learn how to make money on drums without actually sitting on drums and playing. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So it took me a while to figure it out, and you know, I kind of got in a groove, and once I found the lane, I'm just like, I'm gonna stay in my lane. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man.
People's opinions don't matter. What they think is going on don't matter.
Yep.
Yo, I have a pocket full of fucks, and you can't have one. You know what I'm saying?
I
Seriously.
know, man. It really is. It really is about where you want to put your energy, man, and wherever
Yeah,
you end up.
and that was something I had to learn. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn that because I can be emotional sometimes. You know what I mean? You there? I don't know what's going on right now.
Is it frozen a little bit? I can hear you. You might have your screen might have frozen, but your audio is still coming through from my standpoint.
There we go. I don't know what just went on, but anyway,
Okay.
yeah, I just stay in my lane and keep focused on what works and what's been working and continue to do that. You know what I mean? And don't get sidetracked where in the past I would get sidetracked or what this person, especially, you know, sometimes being in Portland, you know what I'm saying? To get a little crazy sometimes, people opinions, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, because shit's tight knit here, man. Like, and word spreads fast, and you know, any level of like, you know, any level of chirping like is pretty much an immediate ripple effect, right? So
yeah, it's fun for me. I enjoy it. You know what I mean? I'm a shit talker. And it is super funny. I enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I give it out as bad as I can take it just like I give it out. So, you know what I mean? It's fun. You know what I mean? It's all in good fun for the most part. You know what I
right.
mean? Portland's a great place, man. I really love it here. I always tell people, musicians, they be like, oh, it's nothing going on in Portland. But I'm like, you should leave. You should leave because you're spoiling for the people who like it here. Like, you should go. You'll be back. Trust me. If you can't make it in Portland, you're not gonna make it in New York. You ain't gonna make it in LA. You're not gonna make it in a bigger market. if you can't make it in where you from.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, there's some truth to that, man. You gotta be able to find where
I know. I'm. That's a fact. Like I know that for a fact. And there's been lots of musicians here that, and not just here, anywhere they go from, where they're from, and they back because it's not the same. You know what I mean? Portland is a unique place like that, and there's so much talent here. You know what I mean? And just people gotta, it's just about figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? Like there's money to be made, there's shows to be had, but sometimes you gotta figure it out and put it together. You know what I'm saying? But Portland's a great place, man. I really love it here, man. I'm not, I've been here. I remember when the first time I came here was in, what was it? Like, I think the first time I came here was like in 1999, maybe 98. And I visited here. And I was really surprised. We was doing a Broadway show at that point. We was touring with it, and I was really surprised about the community here and the people. You know what I'm saying? I was like, because we checked that stop on the tour. I was like, all right, Portland's up next. We was in Seattle, and I was like, man, Seattle's nice. I was like, I really could live here. Yeah. And then we had Portland. I was like, I don't want to go to Portland. Ain't nothing in Portland because I could have took my vacation. I came on anyway, and I was like, man, this is kind of fly. And yeah, that's how I met my wife originally. I met her back then, and then we just kind of connected and stayed connected. And I moved here. And
is that what pulled you to Portland originally, bro?
Yeah, man. So I was living in New York, man, and I was just there. You know what I mean? I was just chilling. I wasn't playing really. I was just. And my wife was like, yo, you should come to Portland. Oh, well, she was my wife. She was my girlfriend at the time. She was like, you should come to Portland. And I was like, all right, let me see what's up. And
nice.
And then I was like, I came out here, and honestly, Portland really helped me with my drumming career. You know what I mean? Portland was a boost, not so much Portland per se, but being in Portland. Being here, especially with the buckets, there's some bucket drummers out there, but there's no bucket drummers that are doing the way I play, and
yeah,
and then I still have my connections with with different people. So I just like, man, I'm here in Portland, and it just kind of took off. You know what I mean? And being here has been cool because I've been able to do that, like the West Coast thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, so in New York, being from New York, we play Connecticut, Philly, Jersey, Delaware, Virginia, you know what I'm saying? All the way up to South, South of North Carolina and all that. But I hadn't had the opportunity to be in Denver, Idaho, Montana, to see those, New Mexico, to see this side of the world, the West Coast, you know what I'm saying? So that was fun for me too, and I enjoy that part of it too, man. And just being in Portland is really cool, man. Like I said, there's so many different dope musicians here, singers. So that's cool, man. And like, I'm not involved in a lot of it locally, you know what I'm saying? But I see it and I appreciate it, because I remember when I first moved here, and the music scene was trash.
Really?
Trash.
Oh man. When was that? When did you move to Portland, man?
When I first started coming here, and being here around 2005 or 6.
Got you.
Man, it was whack. Bro, whack. I don't care what. And a lot of the musicians that be out playing now, first of all, those cats was young. Like, I remember like Shook. Like, I met Shook in church, at a church here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like Mark Quay and all these are like church musicians. You know what I'm saying? And those guys wasn't out playing. Those guys wasn't out playing yet, because some of them were too young, and then it wasn't nothing going on really. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then, so I started doing some jam sessions. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they started out I started doing them at the Jolly Roger over there in Southeast. My homegirl, she used to run that spot. And she was like, yo, and I would play it with reggae bands. That was like my first gigs when I first came to Portland. I was playing a reggae band. I found a really good one, and they was like doing festivals and stuff like that. There was Cat and Roots Revolution, my man Dow and Daner. Rainer, excuse me. And yeah, we was doing that. So I started doing these jam sessions at the Jolly Roger. It was me. I had Eric Hailstone on the guitar. I had this keyboard player that a lot of people know here in town that's really good. And myself on the drums. This guy by the name of Greg Porter would come play the percussions. Tony Ozier started coming in after a while. And I was doing these jam sessions. Then once I got Tony in, I was like giving him the mic and like, yo, let's like, you start doing it on the mic, right? So we kept doing that. And then that's how the Dookie Jam started. We was doing that first.
That's dope, man. And then that created a whole scene organically.
So like, it was crazy, right? So that was happening, right? So I left, bro. I had went to Vienna, Austria. I went to Europe for like 3 months. I was out there working, right? And I kept like, I was staying in contact with like Tony Ozier and Eric Lewis. That's my brother right there. You know what I'm saying? We were staying in contact always, like through like MySpace, man. That was MySpace days. Yeah. Stay in contact. And he kept telling me, he was like, yo, I'm doing this thing, it's the Doodle Funk. And I was like, okay, cool. Right, whatever. All right. Dude, that's crazy. So I was like, all right. So I came back. I'm going for like 2 or 3 months, bro. I came back. And Eric called me and Tone called me and they was like, yo, we in the bowling alley. We in the bowling alley. It's this Doodle Funk stuff I've been telling you about. Come check it out. I wasn't in this band, bro. I was not in the Doodle Funk band, right? So I go to the bowling alley, this little spot. Bro, it was like 10 people in there, right? It was, I don't remember, and the musicians changed. It was some dope singers though, and the band was crazy. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, I'm kind of looking around. I'm like, what's going on in here? I'm like, is there an A&R? Is there a record executive, somebody? Yo, they was going crazy. Tony Ozier was up on the bar, walking all around, and it's 10 people in the bowling alley. I'm like, yo, what? So I asked him, I'm like, yo, what's wrong with y'all? Why y'all going hard like this? And he was like, this is what we doing. It's that Doodle Funk. I was like, that was the day. I was like, I'm in the band. I put myself in the Doodle Funk All-Star.
I was like, y'all got me in the band now. You don't get a choice in this.
Like, I know, I told Tone, I looked Tone, I was like, I know Tyrone is your guy and that's your drug. Cause me and Ty, we, like, when I first kind of like, I didn't know Ty like that. I didn't get to know a lot of those, like, I knew Tony Ozier. I knew Eric Lewis. You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen Tyrone play with Liv Warfield before. And I met him, but like we didn't have a close relationship. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really start rocking with all of them until I met Tony Ozier. You know what I mean? Until Tony Ozier kind of connected all of us. And I was here maybe a year before Tony, but I was just always not. I lived here, but I wasn't here. I was always
just on your own path. And then it's dope, man. It's like when you watch, like your favorite TV show and like the origin story of how like this shit gets put together.
Yeah,
it's no different. It's no different than like this shit right here is like you guys, like no lie, created a scene out of like a band.
Bro, that's what I was about to get to. I was gonna say, because after that, after we, like when I came back and then they started doing Dookie Jam, we started doing Dookie Jams. It was like, yo, we started pulling all these people out. It was like, yo, because and the other reason I had created that jam session originally is because I didn't like the format of these people in Portland when I first got here. They was doing these jam sessions, these jazz jams. You had to sign up a list, but then if they didn't know you, they would act funny. So I was like, and that's why the format of the Dookie Jam was the way it was. Everybody get to play, no matter what your skill level is. You get to touch the stage,
right?
And you don't gotta ask. You come up, yo, give the look, yo, my go, and that's how we rock. Right. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you get on and you messing the whole thing up, you're not gonna be on very long.
I've seen this. I was waiting for you to talk about this.
You're not gonna be on very long. And yeah, and a lot of people got that hurt a lot of people sometimes, but it's just like, it also motivated a lot of people to, like, okay, next time I come back, Dennis ain't gonna kick me off the drums.
Yeah.
Tyrone ain't gonna kick me off the drums. Eric ain't gonna come and take the bass from me. You know what I'm saying?
Word, man.
Smokin's gonna let you stay on the keys.
Right.
You know
I'm over here just gut laughing, man, because I seen this shit play out when I first started coming to Dookie Jam. And
when you first started coming, when did you first start coming?
Must have been end of
what venue? What venue?
Oh, Dante's. Like that was
So,
it was
okay,
like,
let me stop. So you caught us when we was being nice.
Yeah.
We first started, bro. It was rough, bro. We was going, because we was having so much fun, bro, jamming. Like, so for me, it was like, I'm like, all right, I got this other drummer, Tyrone, and it's like I'm in heaven right now.
Right. Yeah,
and
it was all about just like keeping the good vibe going.
Bruh, playing with Tyrone was really fun for me. You know what I'm saying? It really was. It was like, all right, I got this other drummer, and bro, he gonna hold it down, and we gonna get, you know what I'm saying? And we pushing each other, you know what I'm saying?
Everyone has fun playing with Ty, man. He just makes everything feel good. That's what he does.
That was the fun, man, playing with Ty. And then, you know what I'm saying? So we just, and like I said, Ty was the drummer for the Doodle Funk. I just kind of was like, yo, watch out. We're going to have 2 drum sets on the stage from now on. You know what I'm saying? And then I started adding like the percussions and the electronics to it to kind of just change it up. Did the stand-up drum set for a while just to make it different, you know what I'm saying? But that's stuff that we have been doing, like I've been doing since we was kids. And they have been doing that in Portland, but it just was a gap of time where it was missing. Like I just saw some pictures that Foxworth, big bro, Brian Foxworth posted of him and Jeff Manyweather, like from the Candlelight days. They had the 2 drum sets up and all that. I was like, see, that's been here, but it just had been like gone for a while. It's like, so we brought it all back, and we just brought a certain vibe to the community and to the musicians. And you know what I'm saying? Yo, so many singers, bro. People that are on the scene right now, bro, they didn't know how to work a crowd. They didn't know what to say on the mic at first. And right now, they are some of the people leading the town.
Right, man. It's cool to see, man. And I tell people all the time, that was like my first introduction to the Portland music scene. And that was because my homie, Peter Knutson, had been a couple times prior to me, and we went to school together. He was like, bro, you got to come out to this. This is exactly the scene we want to be a part of. Like, like I know we got homies that are younger and doing their thing, but like, this is like everyone doing shit in town. He's like, so like, come out with me. You'll get a sit in. Like, it'll be dope.
Yo, we had to get. So when we first started Dookie Jam, we was at the Calabash. This spot is closed right now. You know what I'm saying? But it was downtown. Bro, this spot was so small, bro. Like, there's some videos on YouTube. Bro, we used to have, and then the cool thing was that none of us were from Portland. Tone, Eric, Tyrone.
Right.
All the people from the Doodle Funk that was in Portland were the singers.
Right, all
Mike,
transplants.
Etta, and Neffy. They were the only ones that were from here. So we would have all our people come in town, different musicians. We have like these professional people coming, and singers and rappers coming to the Dookie Jam, bro. We had Lady Gaga and a band at the Dookie Jam, bro.
Yeah, man.
Portland. We had all kinds of people coming.
That's crazy.
Crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? It just birthed a lot of people. You know, it gave a lot of people confidence. It was like the training ground for a lot of singers, musicians. And it's funny, you always remember when certain people come in. Like, I remember when Peter first came to the Dookie Jam, Peter Knutson, I was like, this guy's not from here.
Mm-hmm.
I could just tell the way he was playing. I was like, yo, who is this dude? And it was just certain people that just stuck. Yo, and shout out to my man, Ajay. Shout out to Ajay. Ajay came in and got down with us, and he was just, I mean, shout out to Ajay. I ain't gonna say it. Ajay came in and rocked with the Doodle Funk All Stars too and held it down.
Absolutely, man.
It was certain players that come in, and yo, they just do their thing, and you just like, yo, this dude is nasty. And it was just fun to find these different musicians in town that sitting in the crib and wouldn't come out. And that's what the Dookie Jam did for.
Right. It was like, it felt to me as someone like not part of the band, but part of that crew of people that would show up each time. It felt like y'all were about expanding the family for those that like fit in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but we was trying to, because like I said, Portland was so closed off and weird to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To me and to those other people that was in the Doodle Funk. You know what I'm saying? The musician, the energy was weird. And that's why we opened it up like we did. You know what I'm saying? And we gave everybody a shot, bro. Everybody got to come in and jam with us. And when we all jammed together, so it was like two things going on. You know what I'm saying? For all the guests, all you guys were doing your thing, but we was on stage on a whole other vibe. We was doing something totally different from what the guest was doing. And it's like, now, all right, if you're gonna play, you're gonna come into what we're doing. This is the vibe we're doing on stage.
Yeah, you guys
watch. We're gonna change rhythms. And I changed the rhythm right in the middle of whatever. Right. I was I was going for the Duke jams. I was like, this is the chance to practice and shed with another drummer and these musicians. I was like, I'm bringing out everything. We about to have fun tonight.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it was a good old time of, you know, just putting back drinks and like, honestly, like joking around and just having this free flowing conversation with you and all your homies, man. And it was cool. Even though it wasn't like the early stages.
We got so many videos from the Dookie Jam that we can't put out backstage, us joking and clowning around. Oh man, they all in the vault. We got them though.
Clowning, man, just constantly clowning.
I always tease all the Doodle Funk All Stars. I tell them, yo, one day we're gonna shoot this Doodle Funk unsung. We're gonna shoot
the Doodle Funk documentary, dude. I need to be interviewed for that as the outsider that just got to see and appreciate this shit play out, man. But yeah, a lot of my musical relationships kind of budded from that point on, man. And it was cool that y'all were able to put something together for the scene to create what was like, honestly, the most like killing funk and groove players in town, man. Like, and it also allowed for like a little bit of like the crossing over of like generations, because like otherwise it's kind of hard for people my age to like, you know, aside from coming out to like y'all's gigs to like really
we had
you. And it was like a really cool process of like getting to know you and Ty and Shook and like and Todd and Andre and, you know, Miss Etta and like all these people that now are like, you know, a mainstay in my life and like all around me on gigs.
Yeah, man. And it was cool too because even with the younger guys, yo, we like Kyle, trombonist, Molitor, Charlie Brown.
Yep.
Who else? Alex Milstead. Alex though. Yo, they were little kids, bro. And we were sneaking them into the Dookie Jam. We had to sneak them in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they would have to stay, like we sneaking them in and sneak them on stage. And then we started talking to the venues and they was like, they just have to stay in this area.
Right.
So that was cool. But we had all kinds of young music. Young Damo Branch.
Right, young Damo just over at the quarantine shed with us the other day.
Yeah. And they were underage. They was like 12 and 13.
Bro, I remember young Charlie, man. I remember young underage Charlie at all these gigs, man, like playing 10 times more than I ever was at that age, man. He was you could just see it, man. He wanted it and he was about that life and he was going to
man, he was, man. I'm so proud of Charlie Brown, man. I swear, man. That's my little
too,
bro.
man.
I watched Charlie Brown. Yo, me and Eric Lewis used to put Charlie through the ringer, bro.
I'm saying, y'all really did. I remember the looks that Eric used to give Charlie when he was like playing some shit. Eric was, as you know, Eric, like as one of your close friends, but as like just someone like getting to know Eric at that time, that was like always something that killed me laughing was like, he's like pretty much fronting the band, and he's like looking at like Charlie or like the guitarist or like the horn player, and he's like, nah, something else.
Yeah, like, nah, chill out. What are you doing? Yeah. But we used to put Charlie through the ringer, you know what I'm saying? And not just at the Dookie Jam. Like, we would get together outside of that and work together, you know what I'm saying? And work with him and talk to him and stuff like that. And, man, Charlie is killing right now. I'm super proud of him, man. His playing is just really he's blossoming, man, to a really good musician. And I always knew he was always nice, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, he even played in the American Music Program under Darren Memory, you know, so he always could play.
He always had it.
It was just a different type of energy to get on, you know, that energy, and the energy that we was bringing was different, and he like put it all together now, I feel like.
Yeah, man, and
killing, man.
I'm sure asking Charlie, he would say how formative those times were in like his development of his sound, because now, you know, sky's the limit for
yeah. I'm sure some days he was mad at us, but it was always all in love, because we all seen his talent, and not just him. Popcorn, Kyle, all those young guys, you know what I'm saying? And there's a whole bunch more of them, you know what I'm saying? There was even young MCs that used to come, you know what I'm saying? My little bro Khalil, and this dude is a monster producer, a rapper now, you know what I'm saying? He's ill, you know what I'm saying? But all these guys used to come through the Dookie Jam when they was younger, man, and that's what it was about, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's about really sharing music and experiences all together. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I learned so much just from those guys as well. You know what I'm saying? Musically, you know what I'm saying? And
no doubt.
Man, that's my place, man. Portland's a special place, man. It's a special place. Like, you could do this like same kind of things in New York and LA, but because all those places are so spread out, you know what I'm saying? And you could, and there's communities everywhere. There's pockets of communities, but here it's a different feel here in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, because we're like one singular borough, you know, like New York, there's like 10 of us in terms of like, you know, getting a shed together in Brooklyn, like that's going to mostly attract people from Brooklyn. And
no, not necessarily. That's not true. Like,
no?
That's not true. No, not at all, bro. Like, I've been doing sheds since I was a little kid. My grandfather was the pastor of the church, so we had access to the instruments, to the building, bro. We used to do sheds all the time. People come from Philly, from Maryland. Like, when we was doing, like, the name of my church was Morning Star Highway Church in Brooklyn on Broadway and DeKalb, bro. It used to go down. Like, a lot of the top drummers that you see now out here gigging, yo, them dudes was there. I got video. I got the proof. I got all the video.
All the young cats at the time.
Yeah, like Eddie Hayward, Justin Brown, Colin Wright, Daniel Rodriguez. Yo, bro, like monster players out here. We used to always be shedding when we was younger, bro, coming up together. Darnell Howard, you know what I'm saying? All kinds of, you know what I mean? You should just be getting it in, man.
No, that's fire, man. I love hearing these stories, man, about the come up, man, because yeah, it makes me extra driven and motivated to just keep on this shit. But yeah, a lot of these I guess quarantine drum chats have turned into some like really cool origin stories about putting some puzzle pieces together from like I said, like you and Ty and B Fox, and just getting to hear about some earlier times in Portland, man, about it's really cool to see how some of these common threads have like kind of created different pockets of now what is our music scene, man. So, you know, you're definitely part of that conversation, which is dope.
Yeah, man. And shout out to all those other, you know, those musicians that came, a lot that I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But those guys and those musicians that came before us, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they showed us love too, and that the Doodle Funk, you know what I'm saying? And that was the part that was fly, because we had the younger people and the people our ages coming out, but then we had those older OGs of Portland, like God rest her soul, Janice Scroggins, Mama Scroggins, and you know, Darren Memory, God rest his soul. And we had like all these older OGs of Portland. They was rocking with us. You know what I mean? They liked the energy that we was bringing. You know what I mean? Yeah. They appreciated us, and they showed us so much love, and that helped us as well connect more to the town, because like I said, we were fairly, like, we wasn't from here, none of us, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
that kind
and
of helped us connect more to the roots of Portland and what was going on and the past, and kind of connect it, you know what I'm saying? And we was
no
able to
doubt.
do shows with them, you know what I'm saying? So that was the cool part of it. But Portland has, I learned a lot since then. But Portland has a really rich history in music. You know what I'm saying? It really does. And sometimes I think that gets lost between the older generation and the people that are from here, the musicians. They miss it. They don't know. Like, they don't know, or they didn't hear about it or something. But I think that helps the younger generation coming up, knowing that, okay, we had these people that are from this town that did this, you know what I'm saying, that did this, that had this major tour, that had these hit records, you know what I'm saying? I think that
Yeah.
helps, you know what I'm saying? To give them some sense of get it doneness.
No kidding, man. And I can tell you from my standpoint of like coming up, over the last 4 or 5 years, it's always been like an extra big motivator to like hear all the older homies like yourself just like be like, hey, you're on the right path, or like if you keep
Kirk,
doing
how old,
it, like,
Kirk, Kirk, how old are you?
how old am I?
Yeah, if you don't mind me asking.
I'm 27.
Okay, I guess I am the older homie, man. You're making me sound old. I ain't that old, bro.
How old are you?
I'm 40. I'm 40.
Yeah, you know what I mean, man. No disrespect in these.
Nah, I know. I'm
conversations.
messing. I'm like, you know all the older homies.
You know what I'm saying. But it's all love, man. I just mean like coming up and like, kind of getting those little tidbits of knowledge and like
Yeah, I get you. I'm just messing with you.
like that affirmation from people you aspire to want to be like and play like. It's always helpful, man. And hearing you kind of recount your early on Portland stories, like I can definitely relate in the last few years of just like, oh man, that's, not that I do this for other people, but like, man, that's really nice of you to say, or like, I'm glad I'm kind of on some certain path that like, that's aligned us together and like you vibe with and you appreciate that. So it really
for sure.
it really motivates you, and just, yeah, it's extra cool when all of the generational gaps can like be tied together through what we do, man. It's really dope. And I see a lot of that happening still today in Portland.
Yeah, it's definitely going on for sure, man. Portland's music scene is really cool right now. Like I said, I don't play a lot out, you know what I'm saying, but I do see. So I don't get out a lot just because of my schedule.
Someone give Dennis some good paying gigs, man. I need to see this dude play. Someone,
bro, it's not even about the paying gigs, bro. Like I get money, you know what I'm saying? Like I make money.
Right.
I'm not. That's why you'll see me like I just play with my friends, like people who, you know what I mean. Just depends, or it depends on the musical situation.
Right.
It depends what the musical situation interests me. It interests me. Sometimes these people who call me, I don't want to play with them. I'm like, I appreciate the call. No, thank you. I do get a lot of phone calls to play locally.
I'm sure of it.
But I'm either busy doing what I'm doing, and my what I'm doing always comes first. My whether it's playing, I don't care if it's I got to practice at this time. You know what I'm saying? That comes before I put my drumming and myself and my family before everything. You know what I'm saying? So whatever, if it doesn't work
Respect,
out,
man.
you know what I'm saying? I just can't do it. But that doesn't mean, like I said, there's so much good music going on out here. There's so many killer players, you know what I'm saying? I wish I'm going to do better after all this is over, getting out more in the community in that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I'd love to see it, dude. It's always incredible to catch up with you, and just whether it's playing or not, man, just to be able to connect, because you're always giving the realest advice and a lot of incredible perspective from your experience, man. So I speak for a lot of people, I think, when everyone would like to see your ass out, whether you're playing or not.
Yeah. I'm gonna make it a point to get out. There's this meme going around talking about people like, oh, I feel I miss the days when I used to flake on my friends.
Oh man, I miss those days. Yeah, that's funny as hell. But
That's why that was the other reason I put the drum workout together, the quarantine drum workout thing, because I was like, all right, enough is enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Let's get this going. Like I said, I knew nobody's doing nothing, so I'm like, y'all, everybody missed me with all that. I'm busy. You can make it out. You know what I'm saying? If I invite you, bring your ass on out. Let's get a workout in. Let's do some drumming.
I'm looking forward to the next one, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
On Sunday, everybody I'm gonna tap in with everybody, and who's gonna be there, and I'm gonna drop the location. But we're not gonna be at the same spot.
Okay.
No, we're not. I'm changing the spot.
Oh man, Dennis is getting cryptic with this. I love this shit.
We're not gonna be at the same spot. I don't want people just showing up because we gotta still be safe. You know what I'm saying?
It really is, yeah, and that's the priority.
I want everybody to know that's what it's all about. Just about being safe. And if you don't make this one, trust me, just tap in. We're gonna get you on the next joint. Like we all gonna tap in. I'm gonna get with everybody. I'm gonna get some people out. Y'all ain't expecting to come out. Watch.
I love that, man. Well, you keep calling, man. I'll do my best to show up, man. As long as time and health are there. So.
Yeah, not for sick, stay home.
Right. Yeah. You feel a little tickle in your throat, stay your ass home. But yeah, man, we're all coming masked up and safe and all that shit. So it's good. Right. Good on you, bro. Like it's been an awesome chance to reconnect with you, bro. After it's been a minute since chatting with you, throughout these sheds. So I look forward to the, Sunday again, making it happen, man, and just taking more inspiration from you and Ty and whoever else shows up. If Damo comes again, that'd be great.
Yeah. Those guys will be there. I got about four. Got some other guys that's gonna be there. Added a couple more guys. That's why I'm doing it in a different spot where it's bigger, a little more secluded. You know what I mean?
Good shit, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, I look forward to that, man. And, in the meantime, hit me up whenever. And it's just been great touching base with you, man, getting to connect.
For sure. Thanks for having me, man. I
appreciate your time, man, getting to talk throughout this quarantine, man, and being a part of this kind of series that came out of nowhere. So good talking with you, Dennis, and you be well, bro.
Yeah, same to you, man. Peace, y'all.
All right. See you later, bro.